Alright, so now we've got things really starting to take shape, as you can see. And in this lesson here, what we're going to do is put in the arms and the hand and make sure that, well, the arm's attached, of course.
Mm-hmm.
So with that, Zach, let's go ahead and undo that mirror operation that happened at the end of last lesson, and let's get started.
All right. Well, let's go ahead. We're going to be building the arm very similar to how we built the leg. We're going to start with a cylinder, and let's go ahead and have a look at where we're going to be attaching this. Now, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make a cut to kind of prepare our shoulder area, if you will. We're just going to cut straight across to the back, and then straight up to the top of the shoulder, across the shoulder, and back down. Now, this is going to actually do several things. One, it's going to give us sort of an armpit-like area to work with. It's going to allow us to round out the shoulder. We just accomplished a lot with a simple cut. So let's count up our edges real quick. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So let's go ahead, keep things simple, and we'll make a 6-sided arm. So I'll go under Create, Polygon Primitives, Cylinder, and we get a cylinder out here in the middle of nowhere. So let's I'll go to a front view to kind of make this a little easier to understand. Just switch off X-ray. I don't know why. I'll just be switching it back on here in a second. And we'll just kind of get this into position. Scale it up a little bit. And really all I'm doing is running it from just underneath the shoulder to the end of the wrist. So, nothing too difficult. And we'll go under its inputs and we'll change its subdivisions axis to 6. And beef it up just a little more than it is. It's just a little too skinny. That's looking pretty good. And everything else we can just do by playing with the vertices. So that's actually where we're left off right now.
Okay.
So let's jump in here. Press F9 to get to the vertices, and we'll just kind of scale these down almost imperceptibly. And these verts I'm just going to kind of move and scale accordingly. Now, in this particular case, I am going to scale uniformly for now, just to go ahead and add some thickness to my arm, because we don't really have a side reference for the arm. This is all we've got to work with. But that's fine. We really have all the information we need to make this look really good. So now we're going to add in some detail, pretty much just like we did with the legs. We're going to select the faces of the arm itself and get the Cut Faces tool. I'm going to start by making one cut at the elbow area, and then I'm going to border that cut with a cut on each side. I'll make one cut that I can use to shape the bicep. I'm going to make a cut for this piece of armor, and then a cut directly underneath it so that I can actually flare out that piece of armor, and then one cut in the middle of the forearm just for shaping. So with that, I can go ahead and start playing with my detail, shaping things up. Kind of start scaling things and moving things, which is the essence of modeling. It's just making detail and tweaking detail. Scale these a little bit, move them into the positions where they line up a little better with the drawing. Now I'm going to take the next row, and I'll scale them uniformly, and move them into a very similar position, so that very closely mimics the flare that we need for the wrist computer, or piece of armor, or whatever this is. Position these verts like so, and that's looking pretty good.
Around the elbow area, you may want to rotate those, that whole row. It's just driving me a little crazy.
Which, these guys?
Yeah, those and the ones one up from them. Yeah.
They're a little better?
Yeah.
Okay.
Those are going to sleep well again.
I understand, and I'm concerned about that.
I know.
You need your sleep.
Makes me feel a little bit better.
Okay, all right. I hadn't quite noticed that, but, since you were there, awesome. So now I'm going to go to the perspective view, we can't really use the side view because of the 45 degree angle that the arms are at. So we're going to be doing a lot of this over here in perspective, which is no problem. Scale all these out just a little bit, kind of give her bicep a little bit of thickness. She doesn't really need to be tremendously buffed or anything. Slide these back to get an indentation at the elbow. Slide these back as well to give a little bit of shape to the elbow itself. Can be a bit tricky moving things around in all three axes, so every time you do it, it's a good idea to double check what you're doing. Alright, so there's our basic shape for the arm already laid into place. That was pretty quick and easy. So let's go ahead, I'm going to put in the 3 plates of armor you can see back here at the drawing. Actually, you know, on second thought, it'd probably be easier if I waited till we attach the arm, so we won't worry about that. Let's go ahead and work on the hand. Go to Create, a cube, polygon cube, by the way. And we'll just pull him out here where we can work on him. Rotate him down a little bit. Flatten it out. And just kind of get it into position so we can start to work on it and turn it into a hand. So that's pretty good for a base thickness. We're going to be doing a little bit of editing to it as we go. So let's change its subdivisions. I'm going to add another subdivision in depth, so it'll have 2 subdivisions in depth and also 1 subdivision in width. We'll just stay here. Let me frame up on this so we only rotate around it.
Which you did by hitting the F key.
F key, thank you very much.
Just for any beginners out there that may not have understood.
I know, I take that for granted sometimes. I'm sorry.
It's all cool.
Okay, so what I'm going to do is make a cut from the outside corner here down to the center of the hand, and then back to this corner. Actually, there we go. Make a cut like so. And this is going to become our thumb. Also, while I'm at it, I'm going to make a cut from the center point out here to the outside of the hand where the fingers are going to be. And really, all I'm doing is subdividing so that we can bring out the fingers themselves. So nothing too scary going on just yet. So now I'm going to take these 2 faces here where we want to generate the thumb. And I'm going to do an extrude in world mode. Straight out in Z, and then straight down in Y. So, I mean, you can already kind of see how that remotely suggests a thumb. It's kind of far-fetched, but it's there.
Yeah.
Thank you, Buzz.
Hi, how's it going, Zach?
All right.
Looking good. Don't stab anybody with that thumb.
I'm going to try not to. So now I'm going to relocate this edge here to kind of blunt this out so this becomes kind of a stump for the thumb. And we're trying to keep the detail for this hand down to a minimum. So we don't want a whole lot of excess detail, but we do need something that looks relatively nice.
Right.
So I'm going to grab the faces here, and I'm just going to extrude them one more time. And this time, I should be able to extrude them out in local, but I can't, so I'll extrude them out in world. No big deal. And we'll scale them down a little bit. Let's check this out in the front view and see what it's starting to look like. So we've already got plenty of detail to go in here and move this around and start lining this up with our drawing. So pretty cool. There's a thumb. Instant thumb.
Okay. Thumb in a box.
A thumb in a box.
Thumb from a box.
Thumb from a box, exactly. So, yeah, a very simple-looking thumb, but that's really all you're going to need.
It's a game model.
It's a game model. Yeah, we're not going to be animating these hands. Remember, Unreal models don't have any hand bones. They don't wiggle their fingers or anything. Okay, so now I'm going to start taking these rows of detail and just positioning them correctly so that we can extrude out some fingers.
Rows of vertices.
What did I say?
Detail?
Rows of... Well, that's kind of close. Okay, rows of vertices.
Back in the 3D world, we call those vertices.
Okay.
I'll let you go back to Zachland for a moment.
Prettier in my world. It's at least more interesting.
That's a fact.
Okay. So I'm just spacing these out so that there's less dramatic differentiation. We don't need like one really fat finger and then several skinny fingers. So we'll kind of even these out. And now it's time to go ahead and make some extrusions. Hit the Q key just so I make selections. And I'll go ahead and make my first extrusion straight out like so. And then come down here under History, and I'm going to use History actually to toggle off Keep Faces Together. The reason I'm doing that in History is because, as a rule, I generally keep faces together on. And so now I'm going to scale everything down uniformly, and that actually gives us some differentiation between the fingers. And once again, these are basic fingers. We're not trying to win any kind of animation awards with how realistically these are modeled.
You mean modeling awards?
Could be. And if not,
then we'll go back to animation awards.
Thank you. Okay, so I'm going to hit G to extrude again, and we'll just pull these out a little bit, and I'll rotate them like so.
Yeah, we're not going to have the normal detail that you would find in a model that you would model for doing a regular animation piece inside of Maya.
Precisely. You know, that's really all I was trying to say.
I know. I was just going to let you suffer for a minute or two, and then just throw something in there.
I understand. I appreciate it.
Look at that. It's just a sweet-looking little hand.
Actually, it's not.
I know, but I'm trying to be nice.
Okay. No, it's not a sweet-looking hand yet, but we've got the fingers in place, and now we can make it into a sweet-looking hand fairly easily.
Yes.
So I'm going to go ahead and start grabbing rows of, actually bands of vertices, if you will. We'll start with the pinky, and I'm just going to kind of move these up, just kind of shorten the pinky out, because there's no reason for it to be as long as every other finger. And then we can go around to a side view, and we can actually curl these vertices in just a little bit, just to give more of a realistic curl to the hand itself, and nobody can see me talk with my hands as I do that.
No, but I'm enjoying it.
Okay.
It just looks kind of strange.
All right. So we'll shorten this out a little bit.
He was making very interesting
gestures.
Finger gestures.
Finger gestures, exactly. We'll leave the middle finger pretty much like it is in length. We'll just assume that's the longest finger, but we'll curl it back just a little bit. And then finally we'll take the index finger and shorten it out. And then one last thing, just for aesthetic value, I'm going to grab all of the edges here at the underside of the fingertips and just drag them up a little bit. And there you go. There's a basic game hand.
It's a hand.
Exactly. If we want, we can take this one vertex here and pull it out just a little bit, just kind of round things out. It's really not a big deal. But the cool thing about this is if we look, we've got a 6-sided arm, and let's count the edges we need to attach this hand. We have 3 on this side. Actually, you know, I almost don't want to do this, but let's go ahead and drag this out just so I can show everybody. We have 3 edges, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we have exactly what we need to attach this up. But before we do that, let's round this hand out a little bit. Here's what I'm going to do. This is a cool trick. We'll grab all of the vertices here at the corners of the hand, like so, and Buzz is going like, why is he rotating so much? And I'm just going to scale all of them in, and that rounds out the base of the hand. Now we're going to take the faces here. Now, we are in pretty tight quarters. It's just the way sometimes it works. If you want, feel free to move this hand out of the way. You could slap it on a layer and hide it, but I'm not going to worry about that right now. I'm going to grab all of these faces. I'm going to extrude them in so that I get some kind of differentiation between this plate of armor and the glove for the hand itself, and I'll just hit the delete key and get rid of those faces. I'll select this model and just take care of these 2 faces here the same way. They're gone. And now I'm going to go back to object mode, polygons, combine these 2 objects together. And now very simply, I can come in and attach these. First, let's tweak our hand just a little bit so things line up just a little better. So that works out a little better in that direction. Maybe pull that in like so. Now we can come in and use the append to polygon tool and go from one to the other, just going to corresponding edges. So remember to do one face at a time so you don't get messed up like I just did. Press Y to restart the tool. And we'll press Y to restart the tool. And it's starting to notice a pattern here. I still got that Jeopardy song stuck in my head.
Haha, not me.
You probably do now. Okay, so there's our hand. And
Very
it's
nice.
attached. And, you know, if we want to, it's very easy, and it's not any more weight on the game. If we want to take, like, one edge and maybe pull it out for a little bit more of a knuckle, and then maybe take this vertex here and slide it back a little bit, just kind of round things out.
Okay.
So, I mean, that looks pretty natural and very nice for a game model. And so here we go. Now we need to attach this arm, because now it's just kind of floating out in space, and we have nothing going on to link these two pieces together. So remember that cool cut we made back here? Well, here's why we made it. So that we can take these faces here and blast them away to absolutely nothing. Also, we will notice that our arm is slid slightly forward. If we kind of scan back and look at it, it could stand to be moved back a little.
Yes.
And, among other things, we can take the detail in this direction and scale it up a little bit.
Yes.
So, all of these things we can do. Now it's time to just go ahead and connect these two up. So we'll go back to object mode, polygons, combine, and we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 edges and 6 edges. So this should be fairly easy. We'll use our append to polygon tool yet again. And we will use it properly, and that'll help. Here's the problem. The problem is that we didn't delete these faces here on the inside of the arm.
There was a very thick edge that was missing. I was wondering if you were going to actually see that. We call those the borders.
Yes, thank you. I love going back to school while I'm trying to teach. Okay.
Those were great days, though.
It was. I really enjoyed being in your class. Okay. So now I'm just going to attach the arm pretty much the same way we've been attaching everything else so far in this tutorial. Don't worry about how it's looking right now. It's just kind of like the hip. You know, the hip looked really funny when we first attached it, and then we tweaked it and it looked great. All right, so now we have one continuous piece that goes into an arm. So now that it looks like crap and is attached, we need to change it and make it look like something decent that is attached. I'm going to hit F9 to go to vertex mode and start using my move tool. You'll notice I've pretty much stayed constrained out of the Z-axis so that I'm just moving in two axes. This makes it a little easier to work in perspective view, which allows me to rotate the camera more. So we'll just kind of round things out, make things look a little more natural. Like so. Maybe take this vertex and pull it up here so we don't have such a drastic change in direction in our edges.
Of course, don't forget you have a reference image, too, that you can use.
Absolutely. I'm
just
getting
reminding
there.
our
I'm
viewers.
getting there. Thank you. But actually, we've got a little bit of work we need to do first. I'm going to make a cut across here and straight back to the back. And really, all this is going to do is give me the vertices I need to kind of properly blend this shoulder into the back. Which doesn't take much. Just a couple of vertices will do fine. Mm-hmm. And there we go. That already looks much better.
Yep.
And yes, it is high time we came in here. The hand's actually looking pretty good. We need to come in here and check and see how our shoulder's lining up. And what do you know? It's not half bad. But we can come in here and make a few tweaks, make Buzz happy. Change this around. Looking pretty good. You'll notice we haven't got to the plates of armor yet. We're actually about to tackle those. So that's looking fairly nice. Maybe we'll drag this one vertex back a little. Maybe drag his little brother back a little bit. But there you go. We have an arm. It is attached to our model and looking pretty cool. So let's knock out these armor plates that are stacked up here on her shoulders. We can kind of see where they're lined up, how they exist and everything as far as the drawing goes. Let's try to take some of the detail we already have and make it work for us. So maybe we can take this point here and bring it back right to the point where that armor starts. And then we can kind of relocate some of these points so they more accurately line up with how that armor is working. And we won't worry about this guy because we kind of need this this detail down here at the elbow.
Yeah.
Right, because that elbow's got to bend when she's running around. All right, so with that out of the way, let's jump back into perspective mode. Actually, I'm going to jump into the foreview for just a moment. Because what I need to do is make sure I'm grabbing the proper face. I basically need these faces right here, so now that I know I've got them, I will go into perspective. And I'm going to make an extrusion. And we'll just pull these straight up. It doesn't really matter right now if it looks funny. We're going to tweak it and make it look proper here in just a moment. Let's line things up, though, in the front view for now. So I'll go back to vertex mode. And we'll just start moving some of this detail that we just laid to actually get the shape of the armor plate that we're looking for. Alright, so with that out of the way, I mean, that looks like an armor plate to me. It's looking pretty cool. No enthusiasm from the Buzz Corner. That's fine.
I like the nice block on her arm. It's great.
Absolutely.
Zach's favorite word, absolutely.
Okay, so moving right along. Now, instead of just using this same spot to extrude out, which we can do, let's go ahead and we'll add one more face to our character, and we'll just extrude out from this point here so that we actually have a more proper differentiation between the way these plates are layered. And we will have to do a very similar cut on the back of the arm, even though we don't have a reference from the back of the arm. Now, this is where things get a little tricky. Nothing too crazy, but just if you've been paying attention to some of the tricks we've been using, you'll go like, oh, okay, I see what you're doing. But if maybe you're just downloaded this video, this will be interesting. So let me grab these two faces for the armor itself, and we'll extrude them out just like we did before. And now what I'm going to do is go to wireframe mode for just a moment, and we'll go to vertex mode, and I'm going to take these vertices here at the base of the armor plate, snap them back down to where they started, and merge them.
Don't forget your merge distance.
Actually, you know what? This gives me an idea.
Uh-oh.
We could go through and we could merge all these out, but we have other options as well.
Okay.
We could just kind of, as a for instance, come in here with these faces selected. Let's go ahead and shade this back up so people can see what I'm doing. We'll right-click and select an edge. We'll say this edge here, and a long time ago, at the beginning of this VTM, we talked about the wedge faces tool.
Mm-hmm.
So we can go ahead and make a wedge. Let's go ahead and change our settings. We do not want 90 degrees. In fact, we want very small amount of rotation out of this, and one division will work just fine. So let's go ahead and wedge that out.
Now go ahead and adjust it over there in your...
in my history.
Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, that's just an extrusion. It doesn't look like it actually took.
Ah.
That's okay. I've had stranger things happen. So we'll go back to... Actually, let's just check the tool. Seem to work okay. So I'll just actually run the tool. See what I get. I get nothing.
Oh, wait a minute. Look at your edge selection.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I gotcha. All right. So like I said...
You're going to back up? Okay.
Yeah, just for this particular example. I don't want to sit there and fight with the tool.
Okay. He only had one edge selected instead of going all the way across. But in that particular case, yeah, I do believe it's only going to be with one edge.
Right.
And one face.
Exactly.
You're trying to do multiple things there.
Exactly. And Maya was like, no. So that's fine. I try to get ahead of myself. That's okay. Let's go back to wireframe mode. That's what I get for showing off. All right. So
I was just trying to tell you to adjust your distance. That's all, man.
I know. And thanks. I do appreciate that, actually. All right, so we'll merge these together. And, I'm a little concerned about those. Did those actually merge? Yeah, okay. They did fine. Just a quick test. You can just click on it and pull it out. If they don't separate, you did a good job. But, I mean, it's good that occasionally people see that we're not perfect. Or that I'm not perfect. Buzz is perfect. I'm not perfect.
Oh, I'm not. I'm flawless.
Oh,
I
I'm
mean,
sorry.
flawful. I mean...
Oh, or something. Absolutely. Okay, so as you can see, we've actually pulled that armor plate out pretty nicely. We can grab the vertices here and kind of relocate the detail just a little bit to kind of make them look a little more layered.
Uh-huh.
And now we only have one more left. And we can do this one. Let's go back into perspective view and shade things up so we don't get too confused. We can just lay a single cut across the top of the arm. And we can grab these two vertices. And once again, all we're going to be doing... Oh, anybody else see this? There's a 0 area face right there.
Mm-hmm.
That's okay. We can just delete that out.
One there.
Glad I caught those, by the way. Alright. So now with those out of the way, we'll go ahead and extrude one more time. I love the extrude tool. And we'll pull these guys out.
Buzz is going to point at his screen real quick.
Mm-hmm. While I see other... You know what? There was an extrude there that I did.
Mm-hmm.
And it just didn't display.
Mm-hmm.
That's creepy.
There you go.
So there we go. And that should solve the problem. Anywho.
You just got to watch for those, things like that.
Exactly. Just a good tip, actually. When you're in face mode and you notice some little dots actually on edges, that means you've got 0 area faces. Those are bad. Those will, one, mess up your model inside of Maya.
Basically, they're two polygon faces on top of one another.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, try smoothing that out.
Exactly. So with that done, I'll go ahead and jump back to vertex mode. I'll V-snap this guy into position at the base, kind of where he started. Grab the pair, merge them together. It's getting about time to delete history, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
But I was going to, back off.
Well, I just got one more thing left to merge.
I know. See, that's what you'd be saying. One more thing.
Exactly.
That's how it always is to those people that like to keep history forever.
I know.
One more thing.
Well, here, let's merge two things with one merge. How's that? Will that make you feel a little better?
Hey, all right.
All right. I don't want you to lose any more sleep tonight.
I like efficiency.
Yes. Just got to make sure you go all the way back up to the top of your 9-mile history.
0.1 or something. 0.3 is fine.
Yeah, it should be fine. And, I mean, if we want, we can double check with a click test. Yeah. And they work just fine. So there's our plates of armor in place.
Okay.
Looking good. Let's go ahead and make a couple of tweaks here to the shoulder. We can take this vertex and pull it out to kind of round things out a little bit. Pretty much do the same thing to these as well. You can take this vertex here, pull it up and out. Also, it's a good idea. Make sure you keep double-checking your drawings. The plate's looking pretty good, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of pull that down. I'm going to pull these two vertices down just to round out the shoulder a little bit, because I don't want things to get too blocky up there toward the top of our character. And we'll grab these two verts and just kind of pull them down for now. Actually, let's hold off on that till we get the neck attached, because those might come in handy here later.
Yeah, we can adjust in that area there once we start doing that.
Exactly. And actually, there's pretty much the arm.
Okay.
And there's the hand. And there's all the armor plates and everything set.
There's some little tweaks, minor tweaks can be doing. Just some things I could point out here. Going into the glove area there, she gets real beefy with the top of the forearm. No real big deal.
Oh, I know.
Again, these are just little tweaks.
Well, are you talking about like how this kind of rises up so high?
Right before it. It's not too bad, really. It's just me being picky.
Okay.
Let's go ahead and do this, though. Let's kill that history that you were just talking about.
Yay.
And let's go ahead and mirror it to the other side and take
Okay.
a look at how things are starting to pan out. Go ahead and go full screen for me. Okay, yeah, we still have areas in the chest that we need to fix, the back, but we'll come back to those in the tweaking section. So let's see. As far as the hand on the right-hand side, we will take care of that a little bit later on in another section when we go in and just make the little club for the gun.
Right, and you'll find that's actually pretty easy. We're just going to be taking several of the vertices involved with the hand and just collapsing them down.
But it's looking pretty slick.
Yeah.
So that's going to wrap up this lesson here. Thanks.
All right.